All right, good afternoon, you guys. Hogan, once again, let's move up to the next unit, okay, which would be 1.4. And yes, I know I wear this every day, but it is clean and I do give it a bath. So looking at our organization now, we've continued building this out, moving to a unit called stakeholders. Now we're going to have people, organizations, that have a direct and indirect interest within our business. So our business is called Camera On. LLC. Okay? And with Camera On, there are going to be people that work inside the company and that have a direct interest in the company. And we're going to call these people internal stakeholders. Internal stakeholders. They have a direct interest in the day-to-day operations. So this would be day to day. Stakeholders, which would have a direct interest in the day-to-day. The first one, employees that work for the organization. So you can go right down the list of the employees that work for, we'll say, Camera On Limited Liability Company. Another internal stakeholder, day to day, this would be management. Okay, that is kind of overseeing, supervising employees. A third one, since we are a limited liability corporation, shareholders, okay, would be another internal stakeholder. Shareholders invest their money into our company in hopes that they get a return back, and that return is called a dividend. With Camera On, I hope the red works, we'll see. With Camera On LLC, there's other people and groups that are going to have an indirect effect on them. We are going to call those groups external stakeholders. External. And a couple examples of external stakeholders could be, how about customers? Okay, they're going to have an indirect effect on what's going on in that particular company. How about the government? They're going to want to know, not the day-to-day, but they're going to want to have some idea of what's going on. They have a vested interest, not day-to-day. However, they do have a stake in what goes on in Camera On LLC. Maybe some other ones. If we're supplying cameras to this company, maybe the suppliers, people, organizations, other businesses, okay, that have an indirect effect on whether they're successful or not. So if we're a camera company selling cameras so all the kids can get on Zoom and show their faces, if they are the supplier of cameras, they're going to have an interest or a stake in that company as well. Other ones, pressure groups, not affected on the day-to-day what goes on, but yet they're going to have a vested interest in that particular organization. So when we look at Unit 1.4, and I just want to make sure that I got all my stuff covered, we can take a look at internal stakeholders and external stakeholders. What we have to decide, and we know that something's going to happen, there's going to be what is called a problem or a stakeholder conflict. And we as managers, we need to make sure that, number one, we identify the two stakeholders that have the conflict, identify what the conflict is truly about, and then develop strategies to reduce or minimize, that tension within the organization. And that tension can come from employees and managers, could come from suppliers and management, pressure groups and suppliers. Heck, I forgot a really important external one, your competitors. They're going to have a vested interest in what you're doing as well as an external stakeholder. So what we try to do, see what the problem is, see who the problem is with, and then try and minimize that problem or reduce that problem. So hopefully we can work through this, and I will be right back. Yeah.